Welcome to the video, everyone, and today I'm just going to be talking quickly about the quick video that I did with regards to the old children's books, and more specifically about the comments, which were really interesting. Some of them were a bit nasty, some of them were interesting responses, which I'm going to get back to in another video. The reason why I can't do it right now is because I need to do it on my PC, and I still don't have any broadband. And I found some of these responses quite interesting, and I'd like to respond to those because I see things from a different perspective, but there's a bit more complexity than just writing it all down in the comments. So I thought I'd just do a video devoted to it. There are comments and suggestions that we don't have hate speech, or that we're allowed to speak about certain subjects, and I completely disagree with this. I think that you can talk about things, being allowed to do something means there's no consequence whatsoever. So if I talk about these subject matters, there would be a consequence to me, and there has been consequences. There's at the very least a threat of being arrested for hate speech. Now, I have actually contacted the police, who have been imprisoning people or gloating about imprisoning people, because I kind of neighbour onto these people, and they have been acting in these police, and they've been acting in a very politically correct way, which I'm questioning them over. And this has been going on for a few months now, which is why also I've been pretty much distracted, because I do intend to take them into courts for discrimination. So I'm trying to do a lot of written questions between us, because I'm setting the scene for my court case and my evidence, you see. So in my letter, my formal complaint to the police, who I'm making a formal complaint against and intend to take through the courts, they drive rainbow cars for gay pride and things like that, and they've sent people to prison for, quote, stirring up racial hatred. So they're a neighbouring county, and I'd like to start, pursuing them legally. They drive around in rainbow cars, which is pretty much all the police, but I want to put an end to that, because that's ideology and that's political, and the police in this country are not supposed to be political. And this is something that the commenters in my previous video, they seem to be ignoring. They don't understand that the police are police by consent of the public. And they also don't seem to understand what the word allow means, because if you're allowed to do something, there's no consequences. There's no threat of being arrested or anything. So I've been contacting the police with their rainbow cars and all sorts of things. I'll show you what I've written in my formal complaint, because I think it's 6 pages long, and they have responded. They have acknowledged, because they've obviously done a check on me, because my letter to them was very politically was very, very challenging to them. And I've made the claim that they are committing a genocide, which I do believe they are. I've also said to them that they are way more political than they're supposed to be, because they're supporting LGBTQ and all of that. And I've said to them in my letter, or I've questioned them, when they are supporting an ideology such as LGBTQ, if there is a child or a person who is raped by an LGBTQ person, how easy will it be for that person to turn to the police and say, hey, I was raped by a gay or a lesbian or a pedo? Is it going to be easy for them to turn to the police? No, it's not. It's exactly the same situation that I was in. I couldn't go to the police to tell them that I'd been raped by an illegal immigrant who was Asian, because they were arresting people for stirring up racial hatred. So I understand what these people are trying to say, but there are consequences because they've laid this out with their legislation. And it's the legislation which is very much against society. Anyway, I'll do a full video on it. They've obviously done a check on me because I stated that I was a victim of this genocide, and I was saying all these things. They were probably pissed with what I was saying, and they've done a check to see if I can get away with saying the things that I've said. And they have acknowledged that my case is live in their response letter to me. And I think I'll have to double check, but it seems as if they may be trying to use that as an excuse not to answer. I'm not going to allow that. I'll take them through tribunals and all sorts of things if they do that. So it's just that this broadband has put a spanner in the works, and I'd also like to address some of the comments. But, you know, I understand that people have their different views and everything, and that's fine. But, and you know, by now, you know, it's been years now, and I've been sort of, you know, cast out of society, dropped by friends, all sorts of things. So, you know, I'm used to it at this point. It doesn't bother me quite as much as it had done. But I do want to address them because it's a concern regardless, because I don't think that people are thinking too deeply or critically about what's going on right now. So for that reason, I'd like to just address them, probably to those individuals. Anyway, that's it. I really am stuck at the moment to do anything. I do want to take you up to where my family, my Celtic side of my family lived, and were shepherds. And there's a particular area where they were all shepherds and stuff. So I'm going to do a walk and talk with you there, and probably talk about some things which I've learnt about my Anglo-Saxon side of my family. Very interesting, that is. Okay, I'll leave it there, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll get this broadband, and then I can do the better videos and everything.